Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. There is a brand new promo code in Raid for new players only, and it is a big one. It's going to give you a Void Legendary. The code is BIGDAWG, and it's going to give you Turvold, a wonderful Void Legendary. So I don't really know why there's Yumeko in this promotional picture as well. It does not give you Yumeko. If it did, well, I guess everyone would be running to make a new account. But still, it gives you Void Legendary. Those are not easy to come by. And if you want to start Raid now with that Void Legendary, what else would you want to get? Look no further. Thank you Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video and for giving me this wonderful promo link down below in the description there in the QR code. Promo link that gives you Tholin Foulbeard after the tutorial, so a wonderful legendary damage dealer. Then you can use the BIGDAWG code, or alternatively you could still use the DESERTQUEEN code for Tuhanarak. Either way, you're going to get a Void Legendary from the promo code, and then during the Assassin's Creed event, 7-day login bonus, Ezio Auditore, followed by Rector Drath, Venomage and Uugo, 3 absolutely top tier epics. So who is this Turvold guy anyway, and why should you care? Turvold is a magnificent single target damage dealer. His A1 attacks one enemy 2 times and has a 55% chance of placing a 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns. His A2 places a 50% increase attack, 30% increase crit rate and 30% increase speed on Turvold itself for 2 turns and grants an extra turn, which means that the A2 doesn't really take any time, it just triple buffs Turvold. In order to synergize with Turvold's A3, attacks one enemy 2 times, damage increases according to the number of buffs on this champion. If the target is killed, resets the cooldown of the skill. So both of the attack skills are double attacks and both of them are single target and they deal some big numbers. And Turvold buffs himself with most of the important stuff already, so 3 salvos. Note that the speed buff only comes after you have 3-star ascended him, which does make a difference early on. You don't get all that speed and all that extra damage on the A3. It doesn't take a turn, and then wait, 1 and A3 both hit hard, especially the A3, it's a truck. No AoE attacks, so that means that Turvold is not a great campaign farmer. When you take Turvold into a campaign, what happens is that Turvold is going to start one-shotting people. So he goes in and boom, and he one-shots somebody. And then that resets the cooldown of his A3. So then he gets to use A3 again, but he doesn't get an extra turn out of that. So then, depending on his speed, some others may go first, and then Turvold eventually gets a turn again, and then Turvold is going to use the A3 again, and boom, one-shot again. So he is going to take down the enemies, but he needs as many turns as there are enemies because he's only a single target damage dealer. However, when there is a single opponent, being a single target damage dealer is not a problem, and Turvold is the hardest hitting conventional damage dealer against bosses that a new player can easily acquire. Poison always has an advantage early on. Poison deals damage only based on the max HP of the enemy, so against big bosses you have poison damage dealers and they don't have any gear, and then they cast some poison and boom, 20,000. Damage just pours in. But Turvold, actually, even when the gear is absolutely non-existent, Turvold is not that far behind a poison damage dealer. So for example here, I took Turvold for a little spin with Kale, and typically Kale would deal like 2-3 times the damage of another damage dealer, but not so against Turvold, even though they both have really miserable gear. Turvold just goes in and smacks hard. So obviously Poison still has the edge very, very early on, but Turvold is going to turn that around rather quickly. And if you start a new account with my link, then you're going to get Tholin as well. So Turvold and Tholin, how does that pair really match up? Well, you could build a Turvold, Tholin, Venomage, Kale, Rector Drath Demon Lord team with my link, which is a pretty good Demon Lord team. Kale has enough poisons to keep Venomage active, and then Turvold and Tholin, 2 conventional damage dealers, and Venomage brings the decreased defense so that those conventional damage dealers can really smack. And in that case, Tholin would actually be your first campaign farmer, because Tholin deals AoE damage, and Turvold does not, so Tholin gets you through the campaign much better. Turvold and Tholin, they both bring weaken, so superficially that might look like, okay, hey, these have the same debuff, why would you bring them both? But neither of them brings it at 100%. So the overlap is actually not that bad, because now you just improve the consistency of having that weaken on the Demon Lord. Then you get the decreased defense from the Venomage, you get the decreased attack from the Venomage, or you can also get decreased attack from Rector Drath. And then you can just have a little bit of poison damage here, but never at risk of using all of your debuff slots. And then Turvold and Tholin just going ham with some regular damage. All that said, it is still super hard to ignore Tuhanarak. Tuhanarak is so incredibly powerful, brings so many debuffs, just the right buffs, debuffs, debuff spreads, just so many things, cleanses to your team. Tuhanarak just has so much utility. So I probably still slightly favor Tuhanarak over Turvold. If I were to create a new account right now, I think I would still pick Tuhanarak. But we don't know when the Desert Queen code is going to expire, so obviously if it expires in the near future, then BIGDAWG might just be the replacement that you're looking for. Or if you're just like Turvold, and Turvold is hilarious, just a big sword and pow, then he's another viable option for a great start to raid. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.